Good trade location, indicators starting to turn back up, W's all over the place in RSI. And of course, actually, this is a really good anecdote too. But oh, look at that. We're down at the bottom of value. So Mr. Hoagland would say if we accept back into value, which we clearly have, then odds are we probably have to trade back up to value high. And oh, what a big surprise. There's a big old price gap right up top there. If I was teaching a course on how to trade and how to invest, well, this is basically everything we teach you. Indicator confirmation, Willie stupid, price structure, and even she came down and give us another W on really tight, sexy little W's in RSI and OBV. Awesome. Perfect. Hopefully you can see that there is the W. Awesome. Love to see that. So this is basically everything that we teach in the education program. And what I really like about this guy here is, is this a place where we want to start paying attention? I mean, it kind of sucks that it's, it's apartments. It's taking advantage of the poor schlubs, of course, that can't own a house like me and have to rent. But is that in reload zones? Sure looks like it. Is that on a bullish divergence? Ooh, looks nice. Look at these cute. I mean, we could even call that, well, we don't have it in OBV, but beautiful W and RSI, beautiful W and Willie. And actually, I think this thing here now, this is your Eve. And I don't know whether I would really call that an atom, but I actually think that this is a V bottom here, just off of these lows. What I do find fascinating is the system actually saw that W right there and was like, hey, that's a buy signal. So super cool to see. Super, super cool. Good trade location, indicators starting to turn back up, W's all over the place in RSI. Can I fine tune this a little bit more? Will I get to the point where I want to see W's in OBV and in MACD and stuff and add it to the screener? Sure. And of course, actually, this is a really good anecdote too. We don't have the screener ability for this just yet, but maybe we will one day. But oh, look at that. We're down at the bottom of value. So Mr. Hoagland would say if we accept back into value, which we clearly have, then odds are we probably have to trade back up to value high. And oh, what a big surprise. There's a big old price gap right up top there. So super pleased to see that, if I was teaching a course on how to trade and how to invest, well, this is basically everything we teach you. Trade location. In fact, did we have divergence through here? Yep. Beautiful divergence. Indicator confirmation, Willie stupid, price structure, and even she came down and give us another W on really tight, sexy little W's in RSI and OBV. Awesome. Perfect. Love it. That's exactly what I want to see. And what I want to see, and this is what I've been asking all along, is can I get a nice little email on a daily basis that just lays everything out for me in a nice, simple, clean report? I might even say that this report has too much information, but here are the trade location signaling. So there was that trust unit about the apartments that we talked about. QSR. I wonder what this guy is. I haven't looked at this yet today. Let's see what we got. Restaurant brands. Ooh, pretty. This actually is a good example of Adam and then Eve. Let's head on over and look at it on TradingView. You might be able to see. It's a little bit clearer. Let's see what we got. It was off a Canadian that we saw that there. All right, so there's your double bottom. Interesting. We also have a bullish engulfing bar there. And I think, technically speaking, this is Adam and then Eve. So a trade through this high is a buy signal. So that was right through there. It's just sitting there. Does this make sense for good trade location? It's not bad. The long-term trend line, right, is there to there. Yeah, we could see this thing pull back. But at the same time, too, probably there to there. Yep. So sitting right in a reload zone. Just looking at this, I would do things like fog and bombs heading up top. So chaos theory, not bad. Those 50% level as price objectives. That's nice, simple technical target. So now you can start to see levels and oh, gee whiz, what is the statistical probability that this level gets traded to and that gap gets filled in? I'd say probably pretty high. That is this, there was a gap here, filled it in, then had to back off. And then what I would just simply say is there to there, and there to there. So A, B, C, D. It sure looks to me like this thing's got a date with 2.618. And then what's interesting about this is, thinking bought did do 50%, might have gone beyond 66. I don't know whether you'd want to bought this out, but it looks like it's pretty close. Bought setup. Yeah, so pretty darn close there. Let's flip that around like so. And then the question here is, if we take these levels and this is really what I'm most interested in here, and we project that's awfully close. I think it's doable, but really what I want to see here is ABCDs takes us to 2.618. But what do maybe alt ABCDs do? So bought trade levels. There we go. Your buy levels kind of tricky in here on this bot. I don't know whether I would bought this, but what is interesting is notice 1.272 is right into that 50% level. It's right into that wick, is right into that gap. I don't think that's an accident at all. And interestingly enough, 4.669s, 1.618s. This also is an valid alt ABCD target. I wouldn't bank on it, but it is interesting to see that is perfectly valid alt ABCD level. And that's just basically a revisit of this original top up here. Whole bunch of trap bulls up there that would love to get released. So if price did ramp up into 4.669s, it's literally these people that are selling, right? Because this thing will be driving up. Bull, I'm a bull, I'm a bull. Buy, 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 buy. And then all of a sudden we hit this level and chaos comes into the market, i.e. a bunch of sellers start coming in and battling with the buyers. Chaos. And does that make sense? Yeah, because you got a whole bunch of trap bulls up here that would love to get released. So I think that makes sense. And then I suppose we could also do things like, if I really wanted to short this thing, where would I short this? And that's good old reload zones. And interesting, we're starting to get confluence of levels here. 1.618, 4.669, good old mountain man, 61.8, and of course candle body highs for trade location. And like we said there a moment ago, a whole bunch of trap bulls there. So I can understand the trade. So you get the signal that this thing's spitting out W's. It's in half decent trade location. Indicators are pointing up and you want to take your trade. This might be one where you just work a stink bid at the bot level, and you would have been filled yesterday, would have been filled here today as well, and you're just going to risk against these lows. It's not a terrible idea. You could just simply say, look, I'm just going to play this W and I'm going to shoot for things like 50% retracements. If you're going to do that kind of trade, I really think it's in your best interest to try and squeeze out that 2-to-1 risk reward. So right there, it's about 1.5 to 1. What you might want to do to try and get that 2-to-1, you could say, well, you know what, Brian, I'm going to just simply be patient and disciplined and wait for, say, this wick to be eaten, that gap to be filled in, these alt ABCD levels to be traded to, mountain man should be traded to. That's one way to approach it. What I might suggest is, okay, we're going to risk against this low here, because if we lose this low, then odds are we're probably going to have to, at the very least, come down and test this low. So if you're going to take that trade and you know that 50% level is pretty solid price objective here, a reasonable price objective, then I would just simply take your entry and just adjust it to the point where it does spit out a 2.0, which means, of course, got to get rid of that, means that we probably want to try and work an order at right about there. So maybe you don't buy the breakout. There we go. So 95.25. So the double bottom breakout was 95.62. No reason why you can't throw your order in. I want to get 2-to-1 and I'm going to take profits at the 50% level and I'm going to risk basically this W. So that means I got to work my order just what did we say, about 20-30 cents lower than the actual breakout level. So food for thought for you there.